This guy is a serial Pecha Kucha speaker.
Third time.
Third time Pecha Kucha speaker. And each time he comes with another 1 year adventure, something like that, few weeks.
Few weeks, but I'm leaving on Sunday for year adventures and about 10 expeditions.
So what he's telling me is that he wants to do 10 more Pecha Kucha here. Is that? Louis-Philippe Long with one recent story. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm completely drunk, so I'll try to do my best. So I went to Poland last May, and the idea was to go to Poland, and I went with Natalie Hill, which is a photographer and filmmaker based in Brussels. And we were sponsored by Vistula Cruises, which is a way to go on the Vistula River, the longest river of Poland. So they gave a free boat for the captain. So the idea was to hike from the highest summit of Poland, which is Mount Risi here, walk 150 kilometers across the mountains, then pack raft 50 km, which is the red part, on the river, and then kayak the last 1,000 kilometers to the Baltic Sea. That's pretty easy, right? So you need a lot of food with that. So I went shopping for the food, and you have to imagine when you're a tourist and you go and the cashier starts like beep, beep, beep. How many times you have that? About 22, I calculated. It's kind of funny to be there, and they have no clue what I'm gonna do with that, because I don't. So I climbed Mount Risi with Tomasz, a local Polish adventurer, and this is the day we climbed. It's May, remember, the mountain is only 2,500 meters high. So if you want to know why the Polish climbers are really good on the planet, this is where they go training, and this is not even winter. So we reached the summit in completely snowstorm, and I was completely wet. I had no really good pants for that, but we made it to the summit, and we were back down at 10 at night, which was completely darkness, and all the local press was worried because Tomasz had like I don't know how many phone calls because it was snowstorm. We were not really prepared. A week later, we reached the Vistula source. This is a label on a rock that a local guide showed us, because it's kind of not really forbidden but hidden for tourists not to go to the Vistula source, because it's the longest river and most popular of Poland. After hiking, I showed you the food, and I thought I was eating soup one night, which was quite salty. Actually, it was a kind of bouillon soup, but I ate it completely. It was like, if you know OXO, it's like having 10 times that. The doctor told me, because my calves were really swollen, they told me, well, you stop your kidneys from functioning. And basically, I had a urine in my legs, which is really nice for walking. So I packed around 50 kilometers on the river. You have here a few dams, kind of waterfall dams. You have 200 of them. So sometimes you go down of it, sometimes you go out of your pack raft, you jump in the water. It's really fun. So these 50 Ks alone were really fun for me. And also I sleep, first time with no tent. Just I used the pack raft as a air mattress. Hello. So when I started the kayak, you can obviously see I was not even in the water, that I fell down. The Polish guy said, there's an adventurer coming from Brussels up to here. He's going to paddle 1,000 kilometers, and he's not even completely in the water with a kayak, and he's falling. What the hell is this guy doing? Well, on my second attempt, I kind of made it. So after a few part of the river, we reached a large reservoir lake, which is 7 kilometers long, and I paddled about an hour and a half to reach it. Then we moved the kayak around the dam. It was a massive dam, and then I was on a smaller river towards Auschwitz. Waking up near Auschwitz was really nice because everything was frozen. My water was frozen, my tent was frozen, but I had a really nice scenery, and this was kind of mystical, being on a river, seeing nothing, and then just saying, okay, I have no idea about the river. There was no reconnaissance done, but I loved it. A few more days later, I reached Krakow, and then I was like surrounded with people, and say, oh, I want to leave this place because there's just too many people. I want to feel nature. I want to see smaller villages, and I guess I'm going to go to Krakow one day and really visit it. in Krakow, we did a press conference because the idea was to say, hey, okay, I'm gonna cross Poland from summit to sea. Okay, great, but what's the point of this? The point of this, and that's my motto, is that we have to save the planet by saving the water. We put a lot of plastic trash in the water, and my next expedition here is gonna be about water, and please don't trash the water, that's what I say. Polish style, this is how Tomasz was pulling me sometimes when I was faster than the boat because they got a bit distracted by starting the aperitif at 9 in the morning. So they had to catch me, say, hey, you forgot to visit that castle or something. So Tomasz had one hand just left and he kept me moving up the river because it's really hard to do with the kayak. And then, yeah, he was drinking a few times a day. I don't know how many bottles they were drinking. I was on my kayak paddling. And, oh, I have time. Nice castle, right? That's Modlin Castle. I obviously slept on some sandbars and islands on my own. Sometimes the boat that was following me was a few kilometers away. Sometimes we slept kind of together a few meters away. But it's really nice to be like just in the middle of a small island, small sandbar, and sleeping there. At the end of the journey, I had the time got a bit worse. I got lots of rain the last 3-4 days, but I've been quite fortunate because I had like most of the days were really sunny. So here, I was more confident in my kayak. I nearly done like 800 kilometers, so I could drink water from the rain. It was quite fun. This is part of the team that was filming me sometimes when we could meet, and it was really great to work with them. It's a really good team, and we kind of, well, I made it to the Baltic Sea, and I knew that because when I put my hand in the water in the sea, I licked my fingers and said, oh, this is salty, so that must be the sea. And this is the team, so I want you to give perhaps at the end an applause for me, but also especially for Anya, Anna, Susanna, Lukasz, Bartok, that's myself, Michael, Tomasz, Mike, and Natalie, who's also here in the room. Thank you very much, and perhaps see you alive, I hope, in a year and a half. Thank you.